Hey everybody, it's been a while since I shot a video. I've been out a few times over the spring, not many, not as much as I want to. Been pretty busy. I'm back to a place I was at, I don't know, it's the last fall or earlier this year, I can't remember. But it's got here, I was only here about a half hour. I'm going to call this place City Pool because you've got just a fantastic place to classify and pan right here. So that's my pool. This place has a little bit of everything, but I found a few specs here, but it's got everything. So I've got, you know, I like ravines, so we've got a ravine here, and heading on down this way, I'm way up at the top of a valley on the northern ridge of Brown County. And what I like here, there you can see we've got an inside bend, but over here, if you look, there's a lens of material. There's like 5 geodes setting right in there, and then we've got bedrock right there, the good old knobstone shale. And so we've got old stream channels setting on here, and it's falling out along this edge. So my first sampling, I'm not going to worry about inside bends, but I want to sample right close to the bank, right along here, and see if any of this, if there's any gold dropping out of the hillside here. And on down that way, we have another ravine. We've got a tight bend. Now that bend down there is where I had found a few specks. But what happened that day was I got here, and this is a pretty good hike up in here. It was supposed to be a chance of thunderstorms, like 20%. And then look to the west here, and a deck of low black greenish tinge clouds started just pouring up over the horizon. I said, man, that looks like tornado cloud formation. So I had to hightail it out of here, and sure enough, I got in the county below me, and on the radio there was didn't touch down here, but a tornado came right through here. So you don't want to be in the woods at 70-mile-an-hour winds or more, so it's a good thing I got out of here. But I'm back now, gonna do bulk samples, hit several spots here and see if this is going to be worth coming back to. So we're going to start along this edge and see what we can find. Okay, first, right below those geodes on the edge there, took out 5 gallons unclassified. I got 1, 2, there's about 4 specks. There's one nice little, I call that, come on, focus, large pepper. That looks pretty good. So we're just going to keep edging on down that edge. Again, I'm just sampling. I mean, this is okay, but I'm going to move down about every 3 or 4 feet, on down about 40 feet. Do exactly the same thing. See how it goes. Okay, checking in. And so let's go over here. There's my first test hole. Okay, let's just do this right. Beech tree right there. Scar looking at you. Okay. Straight down. That's where the geodes were. Test hole. Test hole. Picking up flour like in every sample. Came out a little bit. It actually got worse, so it does seem to be better along the bank. Test hole here, right under the big tree. And of course, you always bust your plan. So that's a long ways down there. So went down here, and let's get a mark here. All right, just on the edge of the gravel bar, right there. Took 2 gallons out of there. And let's see what we got. I'd already panned this out, so that's what this is the setup here. But in this creek, that's what we're looking for. There we've got some nice, couple of nice pieces there. And so, in my book, if that's all I find, that's a good day. So I like those kind of pieces. Alright, let's go down there and pull out 5 gallons. Just taking a closer look at what's going on here. You wouldn't want to dig under that. Boy, that whole wall's going to collapse anytime. So I've moved down about 100 feet. And nice panning pool there, so we're in good shape. And just took a closer look at what's going on here. And it's sort of the same old story I run into a lot, at least in this area. If you look there, you see the bedrock under the bank there. And you follow that down. We got bedrock exposed in the creek right there. And that bedrock is dipping strong down. So where you can see topsoil sitting up high there, it's coming right down here. And so right where you go from this exposed bedrock, this is dipping, and we've got a dropout zone right along here heading into that first gravel bar there. So normally you'd want to dig, you think, up at the beginning of that gravel bar, and I'm sure there's gold there, but it is my experience that the big gold drops out before you hit that gravel bar. So we're going to start, I don't know if I'll get done today, we're going to start right at this exposed bedrock, and we're going to try to take out about 2 feet wide strip as far as we can get today. And that won't be far, because actually I wanted to be somewhere else, but some mushroom hunter was sitting in my parking spot. So we'll probably spend a couple hours here, and then you can always come back. Okay, just started again right at the head of where the bedrock dips. I've gotten most of the material down to bedrock for about 3 feet in. They give me about 15 gallons of material, so I've got one classified bucket that I'm going to go through in a second. Still have to clean up the bottom here. So I'm going to go down there and start on this bucket, and we'll see what we get. Hopefully there was some good material in here. But again, I'm not down, just notes for future. Those 2 good flakes were still about 4 feet downstream here on the edge. So we'll see what we get. Okay, so far about a third of the way through the bucket. Nothing good, just picking up really small micro gold. And let's see here. You can probably see maybe 3 specks there, but they're probably 30, 40. I mean, minus 300 mesh or smaller, just almost microscopic. But so we're not hitting anything good yet, so we'll keep going through this bucket. Alright, same old bucket, 4/5 of the way through, just getting nothing but tiny stuff, and then bam, this is what I'm talking about. Those extra big ones are going to be up ahead. And there we go. So that is for this creek, we're talking a really nice flake. Come on. And that is actually thick. So, yes sir, that is a 10th 10 mesh at least. And I'm going to stare at that for a while. Nice flake. Makes your day. Alright. Okay, there's the best pan of the day. That was 1 scoop, unclassified. Now I'm not going to get too excited because I've been fooled before. But I'll show you, I did a little side testing. I'll show you in a little bit what might be going on. Let's see. Taking a little break here. Okay, I've done about 15 buckets. And so there's the head of that bedrock. And right there is the big tree. And got about 6-7 feet down. The bigger gold's real spotty, but I'm getting gold constantly, so it's going to be, I think, a pretty good day overall. Here's where I first, way back, got those two bigger specks that made me come down here. So I've got about 2 feet of material separating upstream and downstream. So if I can take this out, that'll be a pretty good day. I ran about 12 buckets. So that's 60 gallons of material. It seems like a lot, but you know how compacted stuff is. It's just like you can dig and dig and dig and you don't get anywhere. But we'll move on through. This should be okay right here because we had good gold here, so this section ought to be pretty good. So I'll show you a couple more peaks no matter what I get. We'll see. Trying to think if I like summer better than winter. Tell you the truth, I think in the woods, I think I like it in the winter a little better. Got all this green stuff here blocking my view. But anyhow, I'm starting on that center section and just finished classifying up a bucket and first scoop. And we got another nice one here. And that is a, God, man. That, I'm going to have to weigh that. That sucker is, no, it's pretty thick, you hear it. But that's a nice pan there. Another nice picker for the day. Alright, let's get on through this bucket. Getting tired. Whew, that's why I'm here, I guess. Alright. Losing sun. Still probably about 3 hours of daylight. But I've had it. I'm in the zone now. Held up pretty good actually. With 5 buckets. So that's close to 18. 20 unclassified. That's about all I'm good for on a good day. Nothing like a couple chunkers to keep you going, tell you what. So we're going to get through this last bucket. Maybe shoot one more shot of some gold. There'll be something in there. And we'll head on out. I'm going to make sure I mark where I left off well this time. Because we still got 10, 15 feet before we even get to the gravel bar. So, looking upstream is where we're at. Here's this little gravel bar here. And we've been working that side. Notice we've not working into the gravel bar. And I'm going to test that sometime. But it's working out pretty well just following the edge down here. It's cooling off. It's been a really nice day. Probably peaked about 75 degrees, so it's good. I'm out of water. I'm getting dehydrated, so 1 bucket in there. Almost finished cleaning up, so this is okay. I moved quite a bit of dirt. It's just a little less than half a yard, but got some nice chunky pieces in there. Looks pretty good. See you later.